Okay. Now, I don't even know where to begin with this. I've got goosebumps all over my body because I have the anointed Sheree Brown sitting in front of me right now. Let him hear you say hello.
Hello.
Oh, you see, voice of an angel.
Well, thank you.
How are you, my dear?
I'm wonderful now that I'm here.
See, even the I'm wonderful now that I'm here. Anointed. We're going to start by listening to a track called It's Gonna Take a Lot of Love, which is everything that this lady epitomizes, believe me. Oh!
This brings back memories. Wow.
So your stay is short. It's just a few days, right?
Yes.
One concert. That's all you're giving
That's
us.
all
One.
For right now, you know I'd give you more, but
You would.
now-
I know you would.
for now,
I
this
know
is
you
good.
would. But yeah.
Excuse me.
So who put it together? Michael.
Michael.
Put it together.
Yes.
Got in contact with Leroy Hudson.
Pardon me?
Got in contact with Leroy Hudson. Said, "Do you
Michael.
want to come over?"
Did all of that. Called me. Said, yeah, I'll come.
You know the UK has been waiting for you a long, long time.
Really?
Oh, come on, really?
Well, it's
Really?
been a while, because you know I did 2 shows here before.
Yeah, I
But
know.
it's been a while, yeah. So I'm
Yeah.
I'm excited, because especially since after the pandemic,
It's craziness. The pandemic. It's just thrown everything.
it just gives me a new whole
Yeah.
look of at
Perspective on life, for sure. But I mean, that's how we connected.
life. Yeah, because we
Through
did a
pandemic,
show
yeah.
during that time, huh?
Yeah.
Wow. This
Yes. So tell us about It's Gonna Take a Lot of Love.
Oh my gosh, memories, and more memories. So that's my daughter.
Right.
When she must have been about 5 or 6, and now she's a young adult. And so
Right.
my husband and I actually are celebrating our 43rd wedding.
Excuse me?
anniversary.
She looks like
43rd.
she's celebrating her 15th, possibly.
Well, thank you, Perry.
Yeah, I mean, your anointed spirit really does radiate from you.
Well, thank
You
you.
can see your smile, your energy, so positive.
Thank you.
Tell us about your music journey.
Oh my gosh. Let me see. I can remember way back when singing in front of the reflection of the television
Yeah.
with it off, when it's black.
Okay, not even a mirror, the TV.
The
Okay.
TV,
Makes you
right.
feel like you're on the TV, right?
Right, but it's off, and it's the reflection of the mirror on the TV at the window, and I must have been 4 or 5. I just used to love to stand in front and sing, and I remember I would always tell people I wanted to be a singer when I grew up.
So you were quite resolute about the fact that it was going to be music for you.
Yes, and I
Yeah.
taught myself how to play the guitar when I was 9, 10.
Because that is your instrument.
Yes.
Guys, well, not that you don't know, the regular listeners and the music aficionados will know that Sheree Brown's instrument, apart from her angelic voice, of course, is the guitar.
Yes, and I started writing songs on my guitar.
Right.
So I taught myself.
So you taught yourself, you didn't have any official lessons as such?
Not
in
until
the
I was
beginning.
in college.
Right. Because,
After
I mean, I know there's a whole journey of you in music and Patrice Rushen being one of your mentors.
Yes.
Exactly. So you did have official training at some point.
I got my first guitar lesson when I was just out of high school.
Right, okay. So you weren't a novice by the time you got to official instruction. You weren't a novice
No.
to the guitar.
No, in fact, I remember playing my guitar, and sometimes jazz artists that were friends of mine would try to figure out what chords I was playing, because I would teach myself these chords. I'd look at the chord chart. I would say, "Oh, I wonder how it would sound if I don't put my finger on that string. Let me leave it be an open string."
Okay.
So I play chords with a lot of open strings, and it's a whole nother sound and vibe. And people were like, I was playing jazz chords before I even knew I was playing jazz chords even.
Yeah, but you know what? That's the whole thing. The experimentation is
Yes.
what creates something new. Just following the same old staid practice and regular, it just stays the same.
Yes.
Because your sound definitely is different.
Well,
It's
I'll take that
definitely
as
got
a compliment.
Oh, it's a
Thanks.
huge compliment because you've got a different, completely different sound. You know, quite distinctive, we would say, and in
Yes.
a good way,
Yes.
which is important.
Yes. Thank
So
you.
high school was when you got your first lesson.
No, I was out of high school.
Out of high school, right?
I was a freshman in college.
Right. So in college now is when you came across Patrice Rushen, is it? Was she one of your mentors at college?
Yeah, well, no, but I met her during that time. She was doing a part of a jazz series. So UCLA, University of California in
yeah.
Los Angeles, every year they'd have this, it would be Jazz History Month.
Right.
And so UCLA was sponsoring a series, and it was Paz, the guitar player, and that's who I actually went. I took a 45-minute bus trip to UCLA, took my
Okay.
guitar in the case. It was Joe Paz, and so I said, he's a guitar player. I'm going to go and sit in on his session. But I was a little disappointed, not in him, but I thought it was going to be more of a hands-on. But
Right.
it was a lecture.
Okay.
So when it came to the break, the halfway break, someone said, you should go check out this sister over here in this room
Really?
named Patrice Rushen. I said, oh, okay. It was a personal friend of mine.
Who
that
suggested
who
you check
suggested,
out this
right.
sister next door, who
So-
happens to be Patrice
Right,
Rushen, by the way.
right. And so I take my guitar, I sit all the way in the back, and I'm just checking her out. I'm saying, wow,
Yeah.
that sounds like me. Her whole vibe, you know, the things that she shared. You know, it's
Yeah.
like, wow, that's something. Of course, her expertise was way out there. She's such a genius musically. And so anyway, my friend, after the lecture was over, she said, well, you want to go meet her? I said, yeah. She said, because she knew her. She said, I'll take you up.
yeah.
So here I come. And I'd never heard of Patrice before that day.
Huh?
I had never heard of her before that day.
No.
She was with Prestige Records when she was doing almost pretty straight ahead jazz.
Right, yeah.
And so anyway, I brought my guitar up and with me, and I met her. And she said, "You is that your guitar?" I said, "Yeah." "You play it?" I said, "Yeah." She said, "Take it out and play something for me." And so at that time, I was only playing the original things that I wrote.
Right.
So I took out my guitar and I started playing one of my songs. And I played the whole thing. You know, you didn't have to ask me twice. I just love to share my music,
Yeah.
right? It wasn't a thing of showing
Show
off.
it.
It's just this. If you
Want to share.
Yes, and if
I've
you
been
enjoyed
talking
it-
about that
Yes.
today. It's about the thing of sharing. It's not showing off. It's sharing. I enjoy this. You might too.
Right,
You know?
right. And the more I saw that people enjoyed it, the more I wanted to give.
Yeah.
Right. So anyway, after she heard it, she said, "Well, if you ever need any help, here's my number." She just gave me her number. So when I worked on my first demo, I called her, and she came and she did some arrangements. She played keyboards, and she sang background with me. And it's interesting because the session players, my music director at the time was Alexander Thomas. He was a
Right.
trombone player for Earth, Wind, and Fire. And he
I
knew,
mean, I have to interrupt you and say that you were dropped in with the best of the best.
oh my gosh, they were my friends. I would hang out with them.
Yeah.
You know, I was talking to someone I haven't talked to in ages named Joseph Blocker,
Right.
who is out here in London and heard about the show.
Okay.
So we reminisced. The way I met, he used to play with Karma, a group
Right.
named Karma,
Karma, yeah.
a bunch of other folks. But the way I met him was through Syreeta, the late Syreeta Wright. And Joseph and I were actually today, earlier, before coming, we're talking about a gathering that we had at Syreeta's house. It was
Right.
it was Joseph, Patrice Rushen, Gerald Albright, and we were just friends, just hanging out, and we were having this big old jam session. I was dating my husband at the time, and he couldn't believe it. And so that's
That's
who I was around.
as I always use this term, aficionados, because I think when you're that immersed in music. There's no other title that's befitting. And when you're throwing these names, Patrice, Rushen, Syreeta, Wright, come on. You know that you were just immersed in the best of the best.
Yes.
You
Oh my
could
God.
only be fabulous. You could only be fabulous.
Thank you. And so what happened? We did the session. She came in and she played on the demo, and then probably later that year, or the year after, she was working on her Pizzazz album,
Right.
and she had approached me about doing some backgrounds on it and doing some writing, and we've been collaborating on some level ever since, and just being friends.
Now tell
too.
us the Stevie story, because you told me the Stevie story when we last did an interview, which was on the YouTube channel, the BTM Club. But your story with Stevie, and you were waiting for the song for the album.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
So on
Am I relaying your life to you better than you are?
Because I was like, which Stevie story? Because I met Stevie through Syreeta.
Right,
when
exactly,
they got
because they were
married
at the time.
And so anyway, it was the second album, the music album.
Right.
And so it was a song called On My Way Home. And I wrote it actually because I was living in San Diego because my husband was stationed in the Navy, and I was recording in LA.
Right.
And so I would take the train from Los Angeles to San Diego, right? And so sometimes I would drive, and that's how the song came up, On My Way Home. To you, right? So anyway, I said, I want Stevie to do I want him to do a harmonica solo in there.
You see, because by then, her being immersed in all the greats, she could actually say, you know what, I want Stevie. Right. No one, I want Stevie.
And he said, and a friend of mine worked at the station, and she said, relayed that I wanted him to do it, and he says, yeah, give her my telephone number. So
people were so cool in those days and easy about stuff. Just take my number, you
right.
know. Now it's a big old drama.
Right. Right. And I called him, and he says, sure, I'll do it. And so everybody said, Stevie's so hard to catch up with. He might not show up because he's so busy if he's in a session, and, he's into that. I said, I want to do it. And I remember Andre Fisher produced that second album. And so he knew Stevie, and he says, well, I kept calling and calling. He says, well, we're going to have to get our backup, the second choice. And I was like, nope. I want Stevie.
I don't do seconds.
Right. Well, I do, but
No, you don't.
Right. So then it's late at night. We're in the studio, and one of the engineers comes in all excited. She says, Stevie's in the parking lot. And he comes in, and he gets ready to, he's playing it, and he says, okay, he does one take. He says, how was that? How was that? He said, okay, I'll do another one for you. How was that?
And when you actually said, how was that? You mean you actually meant, are you asking me?
Right. How was that?
But he was like, oh, well, maybe she's not satisfied. I'll do
So he
another
did
one
another
just
one.
in
He says,
case.
well, how was that? Well, I can't tell. I can't choose between the two of them. And so it took me, when we were mixing it, it did take a little minute to go back and forth. Which one do you want? Which one do you want? I mean, they all sound good to me. But that just made my day.
Yeah. I mean, that's a story that makes your life.
Right. Because he was one of those that so influenced me in my music.
Absolutely. Now I have to just drop this tune in quickly. Everything I do. She is dancing like she's hearing it for the thing.
Thing that you do.
Oh! Sing it for me, sister. Hello.
Boom, 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 ba-dum.
That's her, by the way. Live and direct on the BTM Club show.
So Syreeta and I co-wrote this. The late Syreeta Wright.
All right.
And I can see us now at her house with my guitar. And we just did it. Did a little demo.
Love it.
That was one of the songs on the album.
This is from the first album, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
The Straight Ahead. Hey. No matter what you do, all that you touch turns to everyone's dream come true. Ooh. You've got a special way everything that you do.
Tell me I don't spoil you. You get Sheree Brown singing live on the tracks. Hello?
Yes, the musicians that played, and Richard Rudolph produced it, the album.
The best of the best. I mean, just, I don't know what to say.
Especially for me because Minnie Riperton had such an influence on me. I got a chance to see her in concert in L.A. But
that is something.
Yes, oh my gosh. But I had never met her.
Right.
Because she passed away by that time.
Yeah.
She passed away by that time. And, but I got to be in her home because I'd have meetings with Richard Rudolph. I got to meet Maya Rudolph when she was like 7.
Her daughter, yeah.
Yes, and their son.
So much like her, isn't she?
Yes.
So much like her.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. I mean, just a beautiful story. I love to have these artists in and hear this story because I think it's very important that our stories are relayed to us.
Yes. Yes.
By the artists themselves and the people who care.
Yes.
Not just a journalist that's Googling you to see who you are on the way to talk to you.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
That's true.
It's well, I mean, we cannot talk over this track right now.
Okay.
We have to just hush up.
Okay.
You know what's coming, guys. You know what's coming. And she just might sing for you.
You want me to sing? Ha. Ooh. But I'm ding doo bow.
Oh, taking it alto, baby. Ooh.
Ooh. But I'm ding doo bow.
Oh.
Boom, 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 boom. Yes.
I'm in heaven.
Together. Together.
That's her, baby. The anointed voice of this queen, Sheree Brown, in the Beat London studios, singing for you live. And you know what? I'm going to have to sneak into the other show that's after mine because I can't let her go yet. I need another 5 minutes with her at least. So you sit right where you are, guys. More Sheree Brown after the break. You don't mind?
Mind what?
You don't mind just hanging on for another 5 minutes? No?
I
Okay,
think we're
cool.
okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Bringing back some nice memories.
And your video, you're
Filming, videoing, everything.
well, and I can get in touch with you after your show to get the clips because I'll
Be on your doorstep by the time you get back to the US. I'll be on your doorstep. You won't have to look for me. I'll find you. Don't
send
worry.
me some clips for sure. I'll just put it all over.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's fun.
No, it's good that you come to the UK because it's showing you guys that you are really appreciated still. There's still a big, big love for you guys here. And as I said when I interviewed you the first time, I'm about promoting those artists from that era because they're the foundation of everything. I was just saying it tomorrow. They're the foundation of everything. Mark Anthony, he's going to beat me later.
That's
Mark
all right.
Anthony.
You corrected him. That's
He says, yeah. But I mean, I'm the same with my Barry.
Yeah.
Barry with an IE. It's not Barry with a Y. It's
Right.
B-A-R-R-I-E. So I totally get it. I totally get it.
And you know what? I appreciate it. You just don't know. I can't speak for other artists, but for me, I really appreciate it because it means a lot to me. It really does. Wow. And I talk about you all the time.
The UK.
In LA all
Yeah.
the time.
Yeah, you
a
know,
part of
there's
my story.
such a big following that you all have here. I don't even think some of them are really fully aware of how loved the US music is. I mean, because really and truly, we've been collecting music forever. So this is not new to us. We were there first time around. And I can remember going to the record store, and you guys are who got me broke. You American artists are who got me broke, because all those American imports were a fortune. To
Yeah.
buy those albums, all the Philly, all the South Soul, all that stuff, it's a fortune. But you know, it was like, all right, keep those for me till next week. I'll come back and get those next week. And yeah, you know, we were there from the beginning, and the lovely days when you had the record sleeves and who was on it, who was the runner, who got the sandwiches, who, you know, who was on bass. That's why the knowledge is so much
Right.
deeper from people who were following it then, because you could read the inserts and see who was on bass, who was on BVs, who was,
Right.
you can't see, you get that now.
And that's what I loved.
Yeah,
Even even in the States.
Yeah.
When I was in high school, that was my hangout, the record store.
Yeah, you know, record stores, and you go, yeah, we can see who's the guitarist, see who's doing the BVs. But now, you know, stuff is just kind of churned out and pushed at you, and you don't know. You just know the named artist, shall we say.
Right.
The others don't get credited. You know, like Gwen Guthrie started off as a backing vocalist. Denise Williams for Stevie Wonder. You know, they all started out. Luther.
Well, the way I found out about what is his name? Gil Scott Heron
Yeah.
is I was in a record store in L.A. and this young guy was there. You know, he was older than me. I'm in high school. He's a young adult, right?
Yeah, good.
He says, "Oh, you should check out my brother's album." I said, "Who's your brother?" And of course, you know, I'm with my friend from school, and we're like, "Let's go see what this guy's talking about because he's cute." Right? And we went, and it was Gil Scott Heron's Pieces of a Man album.
Right.
And that's before it even hit, before people were aware of who he was.
Yeah.
I took it home, listened to it, told all my friends about it. Got here, took it to school and had them play it in the library.
Damn right.
In the record, right.
Educate them, you know.
Right, in high school.
I mean, that's what the Muriel music lovers did. I was part of the music club, and I can remember at school, they're saying, oh, you know, bring in some records. And they're bringing in tracks, and I'm going, what is this? I'm bringing in Love Hangover by Diana Ross. I'm bringing in Native New Yorker by, you know, Odyssey, and saying, well, the original was by Frankie Valli.
Right.
And they're going, huh? I was about 13, because it was school. So, you know, it's always been music for me.
Wow. Yeah.
And little did I know that all of that was the training for this very, very moment. Because for me, this is what I'm supposed to be doing.
Right.
You know?
Right. Right.
This is what I'm supposed to be doing. But yeah, it's always been about the music, and you guys just being able to support you and say, come, you know, listen to these people. Don't forget them. Dexter Wansel was here, and he's coming in January again.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, you know, so it's always about the music. But I won't keep you too long. We'll just have another little quick chat, and then I'll let you go. What you got planned for the day?
I have another interview to go to.
Okay.
Another station. I don't know which one. I think it's Colorful.
Oh, colorful. Who with?
I'm not sure. Lorraine.
Oh,
Is
Lorraine
King
came.
over at, is she at Colorful?
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
I think I might be.
Once mine is the best, that's all you have to say. Whether it's the best or not is irrelevant. Once you say, when you do your write-up, the best interview I did in London was at the Beat with Band. That's all. Doesn't have to be true. Okay, guys, we are back with the Queen herself, the Anointed One, Sheree Brown, and the following presenter has very generously allowed me to steal 5 minutes from his show because I should be finished by now. So, Miss Sheree Brown, tell us about your trip to London. How did this happen? Because we've been waiting for you for so long.
Well, Michael Fontaine has so much to do with it. He called me. My first time I came and did a performance was, you know, by way of Michael Fontaine.
Right.
That's what, I don't know how many, 7, 8 years ago, maybe?
Okay.
Maybe even be longer, right? And so he called me. He says, you know, we're doing this show. We want to see if you want to open up And then when he told me it was Leroy Hudson, I said, yeah.
What kind of questions that?
Yeah. So I'm thankful. I'm grateful, that Michael reached out to me and said, of course.
So he brought you over before?
Yes.
All right.
First
okay.
time.
Yeah. And where was that? Where did you perform?
At O2.
At the O2? All right, Indigo O2.
Yes.
Right.
Yes, that was
How
fun.
did I miss that? How did I miss that?
And I did it with Leon Ware. The late Leon Ware was the opening act. And that's the very first time I met Leon. I talked to him one time on the phone years ago.
What a genius,
Oh my
Leon Ware.
gosh. And I wanted to work with him.
I literally call him the alchemist.
Really?
Because everything he touches turns to gold.
Yes.
Whatever he touches, you can hear his production in there.
Yes.
So distinctive.
One of my favorites before even meeting him.
Yeah.
And we're actually on our way to some interviews, and it was Gene Carn and the Valentine Brothers. So Gene Carn and Valentine Brothers were in one car, and Leon and I were in the other car.
Right.
And so we were talking. He let me hear this new song he was working on. I said, Leon, I want to collaborate with you. I said, I have this book, Messages from the Heart, and we don't have the theme song for the music for it yet. He said, oh, yeah, let's do it. And he lived in L.A., in the Marina Del Rey Beach. And so I went over to his place. He had a studio in his place. And we wrote the song. It was magical.
You see, the
Messages
thing is,
from the heart.
and what is particularly special about you is you can see that you don't take any of it for granted. You actually appreciate it, and when you look back and relay the story, you realize the little bits that were dropped and given to you without even asking.
Yes.
But, they just came to you, enabling you to do what you rightfully are doing.
Yes.
So, it really is wonderful. So let's hear about concert on Wednesday that we're all waiting for here in the UK.
So I'll be there with my guitar.
We can't wait.
And some new special glasses I ordered just for the UK.
Okay.
And it's really different for me, but I said, I'm doing it for my people over here.
Yes, absolutely. So you're at the Barbican.
Mm-hmm.
The Barbican, that's right.
Yes.
Yeah.
8:30. I think it's 8 or 8:30.
Okay.
So I hear it's a really nice venue. In fact, I was talking to Patrice Rushen, and we were talking. She says, "You'll love the venue." So of course, if she tells me, I know she's got those ears. If something's not happening, she knows right away. She's very meticulous,
very attuned and meticulous,
and attuned. Yes.
Well, we look forward to seeing you live and direct. Even though I've had my own personal, not that I'm showing off or anything, my own personal one-to-one concert in the studio. We look forward to seeing your amazing performance, which I know it will be on Wednesday at the Barbican.
Yes.
Get there early, guys. Don't be doing this walking in mid-performance, okay? Respect your artists.
That's right, because I have some special things planned, especially for you.
There we are.
And if you're not there, you'll miss it.
Right, that's it. Respect your artists. Get there on time. Don't be climbing over other viewers and, So, yes, we look forward to seeing you. Thank you so much for coming in.
It's my pleasure.
To talk to us on the BTM Club Show at the Beat London. Amazing, the anointed Sheree Brown.
Well, thank
you so much.
Thank you, Barry. That was nice.
Thank you.
That was really nice.